Hi all, welcome me back. Here I am. Missed me, I hope. I've been on a 1 week ban situation, being a naughty boy for questioning world bodies, and it's in my emails questioning the world bodies. Someone said for proof. If I give you proof of it, that's just an automatic ban. But you're not allowed to criticise, especially the health area. Just remember that. Now I'm going to talk to you about the problems of having a youth channel. Here I am, struggled to get my 1,000 subs in an environment. It's a terrible environment. The top truth vloggers are removed. They've been demonetized. You've got people like Louder with Crowder that are still going, but he doesn't really cover the real issues. And I guess he doesn't cover those real issues because no one can cover the real issues anymore. We're not allowed to. Not allowed to discuss things anymore because we're getting into well, they call it a global reset, where everything's going to be reset, and we don't know what we're doing anymore. We have fact checkers, and the fact checkers have no idea how the world really works. I mean, they're probably more Democrat America, and they're fact checking the whole world through YouTube. Fact checking their interference with their politics, because right now this is a turbulent time with American politics right now, and the fact checking and removing people on Twitter. They've been removing QAnon. It's a subject I like to cover, what QAnon's thinking. Even that now is a controversial subject. Criticizing World Health Organization, controversial. Everything now, politics. Hunter Biden, you mentioned that name, it's okay, but if you lock it in somewhere, you could be in a lot of trouble because it influences the American elections. And it's just so hard. And you've got problems with YouTube, with the fans themselves. Some of them ad you. I'm not big on adding fans. And so it's a really big thing. And they talk to you and talk to you. And they try and influence your truth. You can't influence truth. They try and tell you what they think's happening. That's fine. I would like somebody that give me new evidence and to be thinking similar to me. It's kind of hard. I have people that disagree with me on it, just about half the things that I want to talk about. I only know one person that's very similar to me, and that would be my brother. Although we disagree on some other things. And so I cannot find one person that really agrees with everything I stand for. And so it's hard because my truth is really hard to communicate with people when they disagree on certain things. But generally I never have a problem with disagreeing, but we live in an environment of cancel culture, of cancelling people that disagree with us. So that's my problem right now, is how do I communicate with my fans? When do I annoy them? Sometimes it's hate speech, because England, big on hate speech. And I believe in freedom of speech. I believe that if someone's a bad guy, they should be allowed a platform, should be allowed to communicate, and you can disagree with them. And everything comes right when you have a correct platform. But we do not have a correct platform right now. We have fact checkers that have an ideology. We have people in charge of the fact checkers. We have platforms, the people in charge of them looking like they're going to be on Castaway. There's something going on, and we're into this global reset right now, and assets could be stripped. And we're in an investment boom. I don't know about the rest of the world, but in New Zealand there's an investment boom here. Councillors are in on it. They're saying we need to buy buildings, lots and lots of buildings. New Zealanders are coming back to New Zealand. But we've got no tourism. We've got no money. We've got no jobs. Thousands upon thousands of people are turning up for unimportant jobs. And it is a problem right now. So blue collar work. I relatively had a white blue collar job. People are turning up for my job. And it's kind of like first in, first served. because people think they can do my job now. And that was never the case. 27 years in that job, no one ever thought, well, there were people that thought they could do my job, they get in the job, and they always fail. Always. You get out there, you talk to people, and people say, hey, you know, I can do your job. And they do your job and fail. Always. There's the odd one that keeps at it, battles at it, but they don't get good at the job. When you're good at the job, you're good at the job, but people don't care anymore. People don't care that you're good at that job. So we live in an environment now, a global environment, where there is this not care right now. We're into this commercialism, rental properties, because it's the only investment right now, is people that are on the unemployment benefit are going to fund your rental properties. And you don't care. You're going to get that money from the government. Motels making $3,000 a week with homeless people sitting in them. And the government's paying that money to the hotels. So as I was saying to the councillors, buy out the motels. At least it's a government paying your council. It's one way to get money from the government. But they're not listening. They want to build apartments for workers that don't exist, for New Zealanders coming home. And how can New Zealanders coming home pay $500 to $600 a week rent on the unemployment benefit? They can't. They can't pay it. So they're going to use up all their investment, all their money. And we're in a rental boom right now. The money's going up. People haven't... Has anyone Googled Global Reset? Just Google it. It's talking about the world crashing. No one understands it. I don't know where we're at right now. I mean, there's never been so much information about a global reset and no one's doing anything about it. So here I am on a truth channel like this and no one listens. And you get cut off for a week. Cut off. So you can't cover the issues. And I have 2 more strikes. So I had, this is my first strike, and the second strike, I get 2 weeks off. Third strike, I think it's just all over. I think that's it. So I have to be careful because I can't coexist in a truth environment where 2 + 2 = 5. So we're in an environment now where you have to lie to people or you can't mention certain people. You just can't mention them, and you can't mention world bodies, that kind of thing, because they're now in control. So wasn't that long ago world order was a conspiracy theory. Now it's a fact. You know, if you question these world bodies, you're banned on platforms. So it must be a fact, right? It must be a fact, because we can't even question them now. And so we live in a world of conspiracy theories being truth right now. And now you want to shut down a guy who wants to tell you more things. So I have a video that's been banned. I haven't put it anywhere yet. I do have it unlisted on another account. For some reason I didn't get a strike or a warning on that account. And I've put that video on there. And I'm thinking of putting it on brand YouTube. You'll see me there. My name's Max Thompson, Sunshine in the City. I just wanted to put Max Thompson, but I needed to add Sunshine in the City in there so people knew who I was. Max Thompson with a P. So I'm in brand YouTube. I don't know where I'm at right now. I don't know if YouTube will have a forgiveness platform where they're going to wipe the strikes clean and let us at least have some sort of truth. I don't know how to operate in a truth channel where I can't talk truth. I don't know how to do it. I will have to probably do the 1984 tapes where I am the globalist citizen Max, and that's the best way to do it. And so you can figure out what's going on in the world, because we can't do it truthfully anymore. We're in a world right now where truth is just too hard to tell you right now, because I'm at 1,000 subs and they're quite willing to strike me off, to remove me. Even though I'm not monetized yet, I hit this 1,000 sub. When I was getting close to it, they kept removing my subs, kept removing my like content on my videos, so it wouldn't get into the trends. I had one video hit the trends, was capitalism was crashing, how to crash capitalism. I hit the top trend and they removed my like counter down so it could take me off the top trend. So I saw what they were doing. I saw what YouTube were doing. They didn't want my video to be up there, but what I was saying was accurate. But my video that I crashing capitalism in March was far more accurate, because it was a guy who was just saying how it was in March in COVID, just saying how you could crash it, because COVID was the perfect way of crashing capitalism. And so we have this global reset right now. It's easy to Google, easy to find out about it, but nobody's doing it. Nobody cares. People are putting their money into investments right now. They're reinvesting your money. And it's far too expensive in New Zealand to be paying the rents that we're paying. We can't afford to pay the rents. At some point, the landlords are going to have to not take money, because we just can't pay them anymore. You know, we got to buy food too. We just can't pay for rent. You know, you got to buy food, power, and phone bill. How are you going to do all that? No job. Because there isn't the jobs anymore, and even the jobs that are going are all going at minimum wage. At least they up the minimum wage, but when they up the minimum wage, the unemployment benefit is still the same. It's still a phenomenally low amount of money, and it's not survivable. So the only thing you can do is, when you lose your job, is any bills you have to go bankrupt. You have no choice. Either that or your assets get stripped slowly till you get a job. So you have a choice. Am I going to get a job? In this environment, you're not going to get a job. Just not. I don't know what it is. It depends what you do, but really, I mean, you have to be a really qualified person in this environment, and they're employing people at home to do these jobs. So it's really strange, because they want you to live in Auckland to get a job, to live local for a lot of these jobs. But when you live in another city and they want you to live at home, and you're just going to talk on the computer, why do you have to live in Auckland to get the job in Auckland? You could live in Los Angeles in America right now. You don't even have to live in New Zealand to get these jobs. And so that's where we're at right now. If you want people to live at home, what's the point? What's the point in even employing people in New Zealand right now? And so the whole mindset of the businesses is wrong. The whole mindset of investments is wrong. Nobody knows about global reset. I mean, you just need to Google it. Nobody knows the truth. These are top companies on the global reset. These are Google promoted companies as well, but they're the top companies that are doing it. And I guess if Google's happy to put it there, that I can mention it. But I don't know anymore, because you're happy to just give me strikes. I'm on the naughty boy list on YouTube right now, and I don't know how to get off it. And so I've got this new channel on brand new YouTube called Max Thompson Sunshine in the City Show. A lot of other people having to do this. Israeli Live having to do this. We Are Change still operating. These people, though, they have contacts with people in YouTube. They know people in YouTube, even though they're demonetized. They know people there. They're in America. It does help being in America. But when you live in New Zealand, it's like no one's going to care about that guy with 1,000 subs. And so I have to be treated like a top platform right now. And it's just wrong. And I'm not a top platform. I've only got 1,000 subs. This is just unrealistic. But the way YouTube are treating us, they're treating us like the top platforms right now. And so when you reach 1,000 subs, this is a new problem of a truther. And you have to watch your fans. You have to watch what you say to them. It's important to have fans, but you have to realize that they're on your channel because you're thinking differently. You're able to give a different viewpoint. And if you're going to go along with a fan and change everything about who you are, what's the point? What's the point of having a channel if they're not going to listen to you? Because your channel is you. And they can't change that. But, you know, there are fans, and I call them toxic fans. You have to be careful. And they want to influence you. You have to do what they say or they block you. It's just sad. They give you an opinion, you go on that opinion, and they're really uncomfortable and block you. That's the problem with truth now, is people aren't going to give and take. With YouTube, you can choose to watch that video or not. So why would you add a YouTube channel that you're half agreeing with and try and influence him and then block him? What is the point? Well, this is the problem with a YouTube channel, is we have fans. And all I can say is read your Bible, focus on God, and it's all we have right now. And thank you all. God bless you.